It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills. And it's all up next.
All right, no table is safe outside of Highmark Stadium because this crowd is loud and this crowd is ready for a ball game. We're just outside of Buffalo in Orchard Park, New York. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Jake Bates now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Highmark Stadium. Ty Johnson now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here come the Bills for their opening drive. And leading them out, someone who's still the pride of Wyoming University and Fireball, California. One of the league's best and biggest arms, Josh Allen.
We've seen a lot of big arms come and go in the NFL. Few translate that talent, though, into stardom, quite like Josh Allen. It's fun for me on the college football road when I ask these young quarterbacks who they idolize, who they look up to, and just about every big guy that can run says the same thing, Josh Allen, because that skill set is so tantalizing. A player who can rip off a highlight reel play with the pass and just as easy with the down in just about any situation.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. From the 38. He's got Khalil Shakir. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. They pick up 20 yards there. And that's good for a Bills first down. Allen. He's got this complete to James Cook. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Brian Branch getting there for the tackle.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Allen gonna throw again. Connects with Cook. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that's good for a Bills first down.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers that time, a running back in the flat.
And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
To the air again, Allen. He's on the move. Stepping up, and he's going to run. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Well, I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Outright, Cooper's got it. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Quick pass, right side, complete. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. A nice gain of 8 there, and that brings them to 1st and goal.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You're trading a little bit of speed, sure, but you sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
All right, still scoreless through 1 quarter, but that looks like it's going to change pretty soon. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll return to Highmark Stadium in just a moment. About to begin the 2nd here, the Bills definitely thinking points. Allen on the play action. Oh, he got free. Bale, and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo! The Bills get the game's first points here in the 2nd. Josh Allen, the touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Extra point up and good for Bass. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Bass now to kick this away. Khalif Raymond to return it. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. So the Lions take the field for their first drive. They're led out by someone who's fought through the doubters all through his career, and he just keeps putting up numbers. Jared Goff.
Well, we've had to wait until the 2nd quarter to finally see him and his offense out there. And we're going to see what they have in them here, Kate, in a hurry. They on a touchdown with how long they've been sitting over there. I know the feeling. You're chopping at the bit. Likely going to be pretty aggressive with the football.
They'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. Terrell Bernard tracking that one down. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap here to Goff. To the right and hauled in by Laporta. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. They give up the gut to Montgomery. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Christian Benford up to make that stop. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
First game on the ground to Jahmyr Gibbs. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. It's a pickup of 11. And that gives the Lions the first.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, one of the reasons it's so hard to run the ball in the NFL is to move grown men off their spot against their will. You get a run play like that, you've done your job. You've moved them against their will, and you've set yourself up for some later success.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They put a receiver in motion right. 2nd and 6 now. Finds his man, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. Tight end going in motion here. 1st down from the red zone. Has it in close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
It is so hard for these defenses. I don't envy them at all to try to monitor where these running backs are. Are they chipping? Are they delaying their route? He's such an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Now gone. And they will score. Touchdown, Detroit! The Lions earn the chance to tie it before halftime. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. But they couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Now it's Jake Bates for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Lions respond with 7 of their own to tie it here early. Bates has it all set up. Here comes the kickoff. Johnson with a return here. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Here comes the Bills offense for their 2nd drive of the game. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead. They'll send him over right. 1st down throw for Allen. Has him on the quick hitter. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Brian Branch getting there for the tackle. Bills moving quickly now. They're in the hurry-up. Operating from the gun, it's Allen. Flush down out to his left. He can run it. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. New set of downs for him at the 38. Allen now on 1st down. Into a ton of traffic, and this one's intercepted. Kirby Joseph picks it. I don't know what to be impressed by most, Brock. How effortless he made it look to throw it that deep, or how effortless the cover man made it look to get that far down there and haul in the interception.
How about we just marvel at both of them? You call a deep pass like that again on the next play, it could go to the end zone. But this time, it is a takeaway.
So the Lions headed out for their 2nd drive of the game. And with all their timeouts remaining, Brock, they may be able to put a little something together here before halftime. Good field position for the Lions here as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. Here's Gong. He finds Laporta. And he runs out of bounds at the opposing 45. 16 yards on the play. And that'll be 1st down, Detroit.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
Goff on 1st and 10. That's St. Brown working the sideline, complete. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
From the 37. Pass is caught. That's Tim Patrick. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. Now the Lions calling a timeout. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They've got first down from the 31. Throwing again, it's Goff. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. From the gun, Goff. Short pass brought in. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Making the stop that time, Taron Johnson. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Out of the shotgun, Goff. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down. Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. On 4th down, the Lions going to try to put 3 on the board here with Jake Bates. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. It's no good. It had the leg, but his aim wide right. And the score remains knotted, 7-all. That brings us to halftime, and these teams locked up on the scoreboard. It's a 7-7 ball game. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Who knows when the deciding moment will come? We're underway in the second half of a deadlocked game. Greg Reynolds to return it. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Here comes the offense for Detroit to begin the second half. And they could take control in the second half early, Brock, if they break the tie on this opening drive. And they send a man in motion. On first down, it's Goff. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down. Throwing from the gun here. Finds a seam down the middle. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case, tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. It's Montgomery on the counter. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. DeMar Hamlin getting there for the tackle. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Well, no springing a big play on that one. It's just going to simply be used as a setup play, whether that's another run or eventually what I love, setting up a play-action pass off that counter action.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Finds Laporta. And looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. That play cleaned up by Matt Milano.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
And the Bills bringing out an extra defensive back. 3rd down coming up. Gone. This one to Williams out left side. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks. To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Goff to the air now. Gets this to Montgomery. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Tackled on the play by Taylor Rapp.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Running on 2nd with Montgomery. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
They had the 1st down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Has it in close. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
Well, the defense is really buckled down. That was a scoreless 3rd quarter for us. We're tied at 7 apiece as we get ready for the 4th. Another chance at it on 2nd and goal, still from the 5. Shotgun snap here to Goff. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Trying getting it to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And now they're left with 3rd and goal. When we look back at this one, Brock, it is going to be defensive highlight after defensive highlight. And there again, the examples, they just keep coming.
The physical play has been the trademark, really, from the 1st snap through this 2nd half. There have not been many just uncontested, clean, efficient plays. Every effort's been answered, and that's why that scoreboard's not been lit up. Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one, Kate. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back on track.
An important attempt coming up here for Jake Bates. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Kicked well, and this is good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, I tell you what, you get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
Bates has it all set up. Here comes the kickoff. Johnson now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Bills offense all set for their next drive. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. They're running the option, short side. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Just a little reminder right there that he's more than a passer. They'll call his number as a runner too, especially if the defenses don't account for him.
3rd and just 2 to go. Cook trying this one up the gut. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That's one of those plays, Kate, as an offense, it just sticks with you a little bit. It bothers you that you just can't convert on a very manageable down and distance. And on the other side, well, sure gives you some confidence defensively to get off the field.
So on 4th down, on comes Sam Martin to handle the punt for the Bills. And the sunlight's not a problem for him. He looks up and makes the fair catch. So no return on that punt. And the Lions will go on offense. It gives to Montgomery to start the drive. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice, once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
They're set up at the 35 now. First down throw from Goff. That's caught. Here comes Jahmyr Gibbs. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Buffalo. Lions only up by a few. 2nd and 6 coming up here. This is Montgomery running right. Blast through midfield. And he's finally marked down at the 46-yard line. So after the 2-minute warning, another stoppage here. The defense is calling time. 1:55 to go. New set of downs for him from the 46. Going to the ground again on 1st. He's out in the clear. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Staying on the ground with Montgomery. And they make the play at the 23, a gain of only a little. The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. They'll run again with Montgomery. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
That counter could never get started. Good chance someone on that line telegraphed that play. because the defense was all over it, fortunate just to make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. He's back to throw. That throw's knocked away and incomplete. 4th down coming up.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target and make a play on it.
An important attempt coming up here for Jake Bates. It's on the right hash for this 39-yarder. Just a little too offline, and it clangs off the right upright, no good. And their lead will remain unchanged in the 4th.
I just love watching these special teams coaches, for better or worse. Kind of like the kickers, they live and die with these moments, and with that ball boinking off the upright, that special teams coach and that entire unit a bit deflated.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Ooh, almost a throw that cost him. Defender had it in his hands, but he dropped it. It's incomplete. 2nd down coming up. Here he is to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the 1st down.
Man, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the 1st down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
Finds Kincaid. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Keeping that pace going as the clock continues to run. Setting up to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Steps up, and he's running with it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. So the Lions get the win on the road. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with the victory. So that's it for us here. Brock Heward, our crew, I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Buffalo.